Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to insert points from a file, how to create a point group, and how to export points. First, point groups. Once you create a new point group, go to right click, go to new, give it a name. You can set your point styles and labels. We can include with numbers, elevations, names, raw description, full description, or exclude the same ones. So to take effect, you gotta click apply and then OK to close. I'm not going to, so I'm just gonna close it off. I want to insert some points from a file, and this file is a .csv, and it has to be a .csv file to work good with Civil 3D and to keep some of the formatting that we have. So again, I'm going to go to insert points from file. I'm going to click the plus to add my file group. And right now it's set to default, but to do a text template. So I know that I have a CSV file, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to click open, and I'm going to check what my file is. So it does have elevations. And like I said, this is the formatting: point, northern, eastern, elevation, description, and they're all comma delimited. So that's your key. With the default setting, this is what it looks like: eastern, northern, elevation. And now, when I select point, northern, eastern, elevation, and description, I can see now that my points are in northern, eastern, my elevation is next, and my description. I don't have a point group set up. If not, I can add them directly to it. Everything else I'm leaving default, and I'm going to click OK. And here are my points. Each one of this is a point. If I go to point groups, now I have this one called all points. I'm going to right click and go to properties. It's set to basic and none. And I can see all my points in here. I don't want to show all of them, so I'm going to create a new point group, and I'm going to call it ground. I'm going to give a style of none because I don't want to see them. Same thing with the label style. And I'm going to include with raw description ground. I'm going to click apply. And now all those ground points from everything are in this. And because the way I set up my point group, they're all disappear. So now I have a few other ones. This is a tree, so I'm going to create a point group. name it grease. The same thing, I'm going to set in my style and point label style, and I'm going to include with raw description of tree. And the last one is pole. So make sure they're all the same. They are, so I'm going to create one more point group. And let's see if we have, well, we have a utility pole, so I'm just going to leave it as that. Again, include, and I can do this with numbers, and select from drawing. And there's the points. Now if I can, I need to create a surface from these ground points, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to surface, create surface, test. And now I can use all my points, and I'm going to add them as a point group. And I'm going to click ground. And there's my surface. And I don't have to see the point creating it. And here's my surface. The other way to create points is go to the Home tab. And under that, we have different options. More options. The easiest way to create a point is by point creation tools. And again, all those options to create the points are here. But I'm just going to go here in the first one and select manual. And it's asking you, if you know the specific location, it's asking you for easting first and then your northern. Point description, I'm just going to put a hydrant. And I'm not going to assign an elevation right now. And I can just change this point by itself, or again, create another point group. Now let's say that somebody needs just the ground points or just the tree points. We can export those on the output tab. Export points. So I'm going to export, again, my formatting by default is point, easting, northern, elevation, and description. You can set them up to anything you need, but you need to make sure you remember which one. So I'm going to leave it as default. I'm going to create my destination file, and I'm going to call it polls. In this time, I'm going to click limit point groups to polls. Leave everything else as default and do OK. And we didn't see anything happening, but in here, here's my point group with just the poll. false. Now if I have to export all points, I can just go to all points and export them as a line XML file, or again export points, and I can, if I just leave it unchecked from this limit point groups, it will export all my points. I'm going to select this point. I'm going to go to properties, and I'm going to look for a hydrant. Since I don't have a point group for that. For the rest of them, if I need to show the numbers, let's say that I need to know the numbers for the poles. Now they have the numbers on them.